From the X Sports Network, this is the UNA Report, presented by First Class Charter.
Welcome to the North Alabama pregame show. I'm A.J. Good as we get you ready for the Lions' final regular season game on the road at Eastern Kentucky. Before we check out that matchup between the Lions and the Colonels, let's check in with the final Lions game that they had 2 weeks ago on the road at Southern Utah.
Second all-time meeting between the Lions and the Thunderbirds. Here in the first quarter, Southern Utah getting on the board first. It's Targi Lamson going to take it in from 13 yards out as Southern Utah now leads at 7-0. Here in the second quarter, Thunderbirds up 14-0. It's Lamson again punching it in from 2 yards out, giving the Thunderbirds a 21-0 lead. But the Lions would respond at the end of the half. T.J. Smith going to launch it up for Dakota Warfield for the 22-yard touchdown connection. It's 21-7. Southern Utah at the half. Here in the third, the Lions down 24-7. Smith off the play action finds a wide open Justin Luke. He would do the rest, taking it 70 yards into the end zone. His second touchdown of the year makes it 24-13. Here in the third down, 31-13, Smith. First play of the drive finds an open to Kyrie Kennebrew for the 75-yard score. He would set the FCS record with 187 yards in the game, making it 31-19. Next drive for the Lions is Javion Allen going to punch it in from 3 yards out, but it wouldn't be enough as the Lions would fall in this one 38-26.
To break down the matchup going on later this afternoon, here's head coach Brent Dearmon.
UNA head football coach Brent Dearmon. And Coach, take us through the bye week approach last week, kind of having a bye week this late in the year.
You know, when you got a bye week with one game left, you really have time to work on your young guys. It really helps you going into the recruiting cycle. We were able to have an official visit this past weekend, had some really good players up. We were able to spend a lot of time on our 2s and 3s this past week in practice to see what we really have there, to see if we need to go out and try to find somebody, to see if we've got the talent to develop at some positions. So it really helped us in many different ways. Get a leg up in recruiting while also getting a jump on EKU while they played a tough game this past week. We can get a leg up in the breakdown, leg up in what they're doing schematically as well.
Before the bye week, Josh Anglin was named UAC Freshman of the Week, his third time to take home the honor. You guys have won it 7 times this season, but Josh Anglin, he's really had to step up the last couple of weeks on defense. Just how much has he made the most of this opportunity? Oh, man, he's had to go from that wheel linebacker spot where he depended on Jackson Bratton to make all the calls and get us right to stepping into the mic. And when you're that mic linebacker, you've got to be the vocal guy. You've got to set the defensive line. You've got to set the coverage. There's so much more added on your plate. I think that's going to be his role moving forward in this program. You're looking at a guy that's got an opportunity to win the Freshman of the Year. And he's not our only freshman that's making a difference. He's probably making the biggest difference on this football team. But I'm really proud and excited about how he's really taken this role, this leadership role over at such a young age. You look at this matchup this weekend, and probably Abilene and Tarleton are probably both going to make the playoffs. EKU's battling to get into the playoffs probably with a win, right? So how much does that raise the stakes to this game to maybe give it a playoff feel for everyone? You know, they're on a winning streak right now. I think their last loss maybe came against Southern Utah about 5 weeks ago. So they're coming in with some momentum. They're coming in. They're playing a different style of ball than they were playing last year, where last year they were throwing around the yard with one of the best FCS quarterbacks. This year they've kind of changed their MO. They're running the ball. They're playing really good on defense right now. So we know it's going to be a 10-round knockout, drag-out fight, and we've got to come in prepared for a physical battle. We've got to create turnovers. We've got to take care of the football. We've got to be able to stuff the run, and we've got to move the line of scrimmage on our side of the ball as well.
Coming up next, we have the feature on a fabulous freshman in Jalen Fletcher, who's making a lot of waves over in Florence.
For decades, First Class Charter has provided high-quality motor coach transportation services to the Tennessee Valley. With numerous safety and cleanliness accreditations, First Class Charter is ready to make your group trip a reality. Contact us today by visiting firstclasscharter.net. First Class Charter, the official motor coach company of the North Alabama Lions.
From the X Sports Network, this is the UNA Report, presented by First Class Charter.
Welcome back to the North Alabama pregame show. There's a big-time freshman making a lot of big plays over in Florence so far this year for North Alabama. Jalen Fletcher grew up just an hour down the road, and already he's made a name for himself in the purple.
Jalen Fletcher grew up close by in Trinity, Alabama. The West Morgan product knew he could play at the Division I level, and there was the perfect place for him at UNA.
The coaching staff, because they kept it real with me. They was like, how he gonna use me, and just like once they talked to me, I just felt that connection already. How like me and my high school coach, because Coach Dearmon is similar to him, so it's like once he started talking to me even more, I was like, oh yeah, I know I can play under him.
The freshman has showed out in a big way in 2024, proving he belongs.
I feel like I've done a pretty good job because, I feel like I came in, proved to the coaches what I can do with my speed and with my God-given abilities, and it's really been amazing here. They made me feel like it's home, even though it's just like I'm only like an hour away, but they made it even more home, and just coming in, just being the best coach they is.
After a slow start, Fletcher has come on strong, especially in the big games against ranked opponents.
I feel like that talk with Coach Dearmon, because as you probably saw how I was on red shirt, and just having that talk with Coach Dearmon, telling him I'll do anything for this team to win, so I knew what I can do, and the scheme that he just put in every week, I know I can be a major factor in that scheme.
The future is bright for Jalen, and he knows he has a lot of carries and scores moving forward.
Next 3 to 4 years, I feel like just growing as a leader, keep on growing the connection with the coaches, being a good leader, motivate the team to keep on going, and just doing that.
But first, the Lions want to close out the season right and get a win at Eastern Kentucky.
We going to have to win because, we're going into the offseason, we're going coming off as a win. So, everybody going to be having energy because, we know coming into the offseason, we're going to have momentum. And then even with recruitment, what Coach Dearmon said, recruitment and everything, we're just going to go into the offseason with, momentum.
Coming up next, we check in with everything else that's going down in UNA athletics this week.
For decades, First Class Charter has provided high-quality motor coach transportation services to the Tennessee Valley. With numerous safety and cleanliness accreditations, First Class Charter is ready to make your group trip a reality. Contact us today by visiting firstclasscharter.net. First Class Charter, the official motor coach company of the North Alabama Lions.
From the X Sports Network, this is the UNA Report, presented by First Class Charter.
Welcome back to the pregame show. It's been a busy week in the world of UNA athletics. Let's check out everything that's been going down with the men's and women's basketball teams.
Lions looking for their second win against an SEC foe in school history. Here in the first quarter, Cornelius Williams off the feed, the nice move, and slams it down. Later for UNA, it's Tay Fields backing down the defender. The nice move and off the glass here for 2. Then Will Susi going to work here in the paint. Backing down the defender and getting the floater to fall. He would have 15 points on the night. Then in transition, Daniel Ortiz, the transfer, knocks down the 3. Then later, it's Ortiz again. Off the feed from Lane, hits another 3. He would have 15 points off the bench. Speaking of Lane, Jakari Lane that is. The nice move here and going off the glass, a scoop shot with the right hand. Then Lane. Later in the first half, a nice step back move, draining the 3-pointer. Then Lane again, still in the first. Next possession, drives, gets the floater off the glass for 2. He would finish with the team high 16 points, but UNA would fall in this one 102-69. And the Lions fell to the Cornhuskers 85-48. UNA was led by Charity Gallegos, who had 10 points. Up next, they'll host Cumberland on Monday. Tip-off is set for 6 p.m.
Don't forget to check out all the highlights on the post-game show, plus highlights from the men's basketball team's game over at Louisiana Monroe.
This is the X Sports Network.